Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of Q&A with Matt K. I am Matt K. Today we have a special episode. I received a question from a coworker. And so I can't show you the question, but I will tell you the question. We'll talk about it, and we will then explore the solution that I just built with that coworker in our customers org. The question was this particular company, they keep track of contacts that they sell to. And one of the things that they then do with those contacts is they record the last date that they had a special type of meeting that they keep track of. And they don't use activities for this meeting. It's a custom object because then they have all sorts of fields and stuff that they keep track of. And our customer came to us and said, I really need to be able to run a report and see the customers that we have and when the last meeting was, especially if it was like more than 6 months ago. And then we said, well, is it always going to be 6 months? And they said, well, it might not always be, obviously so there might be times where we might say, well, we just want ones that are more than 8 months ago. And if they've been catching up on their work, they might say, well, we might want times where it's only 4 months ago and that type of thing. And so we came up with a solution, and that's what we're going to go over today. Before I begin, I wanted to tell you about our sponsor, Mambo Merge. Let's see if I can get this up on the screen. Mambo Merge is a 100% native document generation tool for Salesforce. There it is. And if you are watching this video today and sign up for Mambo Merge using this link, you will get 10 free licenses of their free edition, which allows you to generate Microsoft Word documents from Salesforce natively. So it's 100% secure because your data does not leave Salesforce. And it's a native solution, and you'll get 10 free licenses to generate documents that are for quotes, contracts, thank you letters, anything you need. Go ahead, visit quick2.click/Mambo with Matt K and test out Mambo Merge today. All right, so let's jump into my org. And I've gone ahead and started to set up this scenario a little. So I'm going to find a contact. And here we go. This is a great contact. And what it is, I created a related list. This is a simplified version of our customers related list here called meeting. I'm going to go ahead and create a new meeting. And we'll put a date in of last month. Let's save. And I'll zoom in a little. And so this customer wants to be able to run a report and say, well, show me Matt's name on the report if it's been more than a month or 2 months or 6 months or 8 months, whatever it may be. In fact, I'm going to probably move that back further in time just to make it a little more meaningful. Let's do that, edit, and just change this to January. We'll hit save. Okay. And I'm going to go ahead. Do we create the report? Not yet, because we can just jump into setup, I think. So the first thing I did when I met with my coworker was to ask those questions like, okay, is it always 6 months or is it going to be different? And the answer was, yeah, it's going to be different. Because my initial gut instinct was, oh, well, why don't we create a roll-up summary field? And then we'll have the date of the last or most recent of meetings, right? And so that was the first thing that we talked about. And my coworker had already created that date field. So I didn't have to create it, but I'm going to create it here for you. If I can figure out where my mouse went, there we go. Most recent meeting date. And we'll hit next, and we'll just roll up the max of the date field on the meetings object. Again, they use a custom object, not the activity or task event object. And we'll hit save. And there I am. Okay, so that's that roll-up summary field. So we talked about that. And I said, oh, well, if you just need to know, has it been 6 months or more, we could do a formula field that's like a checkbox that says, has been 6 months, or let's say over 6 months, right? We could do something like that. And that's when my coworker, she told me, like, well, like 6 months was an example. It may not be exactly 6 months. And so I was like, oh, well, then this isn't what you want. This customer wants the ability from the report to be able to say, today I'm interested in seeing who has not had a meeting in over 6 months. Tomorrow, come back to that same report and be able to say who hasn't had a meeting in over 4 months, and so on and so forth. And so this would not work because we'd have to create, I don't know, 12 formula fields, which really is not the end of the world. We could do it, but it's not a great solution. It's not ideal. Something like that, I don't feel great about. And that's really what we were talking about, me and my coworker. She was like, I don't feel great about it. Like, I want a solution that's elegant, that's really going to allow this customer to, quickly run the report and get the information they need and not have to do a lot of different type of, changes to fields or anything like that. And so I was like, well, okay, well, then this one here is not the right way to do it. And by the way, we'll just kind of go through the motions of doing it. Today minus most recent date, and we said it's greater than 6 months. So this is where it gets tricky. Like, how do you want to calculate months? I just did divide by 30, which is a rough month. It's not perfect. And what we want to say, actually, what we could do is greater than 180, right? Which even that is not correct, right? Because 365, it should be 182.5. And so we'll say that. And I don't know if we want to say greater than or equal to, because 182.5, do you round up, do you round down? I don't know. Let's just see what this looks like, though. So we'll test it out. Again, this is not the solution that we ended up doing, but it is an interesting way of doing it. I would love to take this time to show you something that I learned recently, and I may have shown on other videos. But most of us who use Lightning are familiar with, that's not what I wanted to do, are familiar with the fact that we often have to refresh the page a lot, and some people like to do, changing it from compact and comfy. I learned recently that if you open up the inspect tool or Chrome developer tool over here, you can then right click on the refresh button. And when you right click, you're not seeing it because of the way I'm sharing my screen, sorry. But when you right click on the refresh button up here, you'll actually see an option to empty cache and hard reload. I'm going to go ahead and take a screenshot, and that way I can show it to you. Give me a second while I do that. Can I figure out how to open this? Yes, we can. Okay, so I took a screenshot. I'm going to drag this screenshot to my browser, and you should be able to see it. There we go. So this is a screenshot. When I right-clicked, we get these three options. And if you choose empty cache and hard reload, that is even better than having to switch from compact to comfy or clearing cache or in cookies and all that kind of stuff. It does the clearing of the cache that we needed without losing my session. So that is the way to do it now. Please do it. I recommend it. And then when someone says, wow, where'd you learn that? Let them know they should start watching Q&A with Matt K. Speaking of which, be sure to like and subscribe if you haven't. If you're new to the channel and you've been watching for a while, why are you not subscribed? Either way, that didn't make sense. But go ahead, like and subscribe, because you get to watch me embarrass myself live with no editing. That's the key to these videos. We do no editing, whether Chris is here or not. And so that means you really get to see what it's like behind the scenes when someone's working. So let's come back here. I cleared my cache, I think, and let's check out if that field shows up. Most recent meeting date, there it is. Okay, so this showed up. Has been over 6 months, is checked. Let's change the meeting date. I would love for the date field to show up there. Let's make it a little closer in time. We'll hit save. That's less than 6 months now, and it's unchecked. So that's a great solution, but it does not scale if this customer is going to need to see 4 months, 8 months, etc. So my coworker and I were talking. I said, okay, wait, I got it. I know exactly what to do. We created another formula field. And this formula field Feel free to pause and yell out what you think the name of this new formula field would be if you're watching and you think you have the answer. Anybody? This was months since last meeting, right? And it's a number field. And we're going to have a number with 0 decimal places because that is just too much to keep track of. And it's going to be a very similar formula. So we're going to take today and subtract that roll-up summary field, which was most recent meeting date. And then we're going to divide by 30. So this is, you kind of saw where I was going with this. From the last one that I accidentally gave it away. The other thing that I did was, when I was working with my coworker, was to say, okay, let's make sure that they actually have a most recent meeting. I don't want it to show up as 0 because then it seems like they just had it, right? So if it's blank, we're going to put empty. I think we actually put null. And otherwise, we're going to have this today minus most recent date divided by 30. That parenthesis closes there, that there, and that should be good. Let's go ahead and check the syntax. Looks good. We're going to hit next and add it to the page layout and then jump back to here. Now, once again, I'm going to right click, empty cache. I'm going to close this over here and zoom in for you. And let's see what we have here. So it's been 4 months since March 13th, which is correct because it's July right now. So that's great. Technically, it's a little more than 4, but I have no decimal places. Let's go ahead and update that meeting to have a better date or another date. We're going to change it back to 1. And now the number should be 6 for those of you that are doing the math. It is 6. I'll do one more just because I think it is important to do a test where we're going back in time to some point last year. This is also why I did the formula the way I did. I could have taken the months and done some math just on the month, right? But I was worried about that. And so I wanted to make sure that a very long distance in time like this would be calculated properly without having to take into account the year function and the month function, the day and all that kind of stuff. Just doing the subtraction is a lot easier. Let me pull up that formula one more time. Here we go. And I'll hit edit just so it shows up higher up on the screen. There we go. If, and then let's do that and that. So if it is blank, we're going to have nothing in the field. Otherwise, we're going to do today minus this roll-up summary field. And then I divided by 30. If you want to divide by something else, feel free to. You can do 31, you can do 29. I'm sure there's a great answer. In fact, what we probably should do is, take 365 divided by 12, and that's the number that we should divide by, which is 30.41666666667 eventually. But since I had no decimal places on this number field formula, does it even make a difference? I'm sure there's like one day of the year where it makes a difference, and the rest of them it doesn't. So I think it's okay. Okay, next step was the report. So I'm going to go to Reports tab, and I'm going to create a new report on contacts. There we go, account, contacts, and accounts. And I'm going to add this column. So months since last meeting. I'm going to get rid of a bunch of these other columns. And let's go ahead and add last. Where is it? It was most recent, not last. That's why. Most recent meeting date. There we go. We can do that. We get rid of title. Okay. And salutation. And let's run this report. I think I need to update my filters for those of you that are paying attention. Let's do all and get rid of this. That didn't change the one up there, but that's okay. Apply. One more time. All and apply and run. And here's that one right there. And so one of the things that I thought would be neat, now that we have this number field, this customer has a couple options. First, they could filter the report. So just show me all where the most recent meeting date is greater than, we'll just say 1, right? No, months, not the most. It's the months. month since last meeting is greater than or equal to 1, right? And then we'll run the report. And so this is right away just to see, okay, you could say 1, you could say 2, you could say 3, et cetera, et cetera. Super great. But you could also group rows by this field. And this will then let you see in descending order all the different people that you have in here, all the different contacts, and how long it's been since the months, and basically prioritize, okay, we're going to start at the top and work our way down. And so what I'm going to do is actually create a couple more contacts or update some of our existing contacts just to have some meetings so that they'll show up on this report. So let's look at some contacts in here, and we'll just go through and create some records. I could probably do this with code, but that's okay. Let's do 3, save, and then we'll come back. We'll do Arthur. We'll just do like a couple and show you the power of this report. Oh, there's no February 31st, silly me. Hit save. And one more, I promise I'll stop. Guess I like doing data entry. Let's do 315. Okay, save. And we'll come back to this report and run the report and look at that. And so like I said, I mean, this is exactly what I needed. If I were in this client's shoes, I would assume this is it. This is the report I was looking for. It shows me all the people that I need to make phone calls to and set up these special meetings because it's been too long. And as I work and I set up these meetings, those people will roll off, right? And so they'll roll off the report, and we just keep working off of this one report every day. I don't need to create a new report every month. I don't need to, even if I'm having interest in, everyone at 6 months and above, I don't even need to really create a new report then, because I can always use the checkboxes to just check off the groupings that I want and drill down. And if I wanted to, I could save that. But this kind of shows you everything you need in that one report. So that was the use case, the question that came up today. Real question at work, behind the scenes, at a Salesforce consulting firm. This is what it looks like. Collaboration. It started with a Slack message saying, "Hey, can I talk to you about a report that I need help with?" And it turned into a video that you're watching now. So thanks for joining. Please like and subscribe. And if you have any questions, send them my way. I just answered a question for a coworker. I'm happy to answer a question for one of our subscribers too. So send them our way. You can submit your questions on the Trailhead site. But if you want to come directly to us, quick2.click/Q&A. And we'll get those questions and hopefully be able to make a video answering them for you. Thanks so much and have a great one. Bye.